fresh in the flesh. Funky fresh in the flesh.
What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Buddy, y'all.
And it's Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
What's happening in the world today?
Man, we back to attack, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's
man,
what's up.
It's a lot going on, man. Detroit is, looking good worldwide with Diana Ross coming back to the city like that. It was dope. I think Fat Cat did the following day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, with the Detroit Orchestra. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Trick. It was good to see him on stage.
Yeah.
With him and stuff. That was pretty dope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Detroit was lit the other day. What was that? June 6th?
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, we just back, man. We got new content on the way, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Detroit been riding high since the Super Bowl and everything.
Man, yeah, for real. The NFL draft.
Yeah,
stuff.
the draft. That's what I meant, the draft.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying the Super Bowl because I'm speaking it into existence. Yeah, but yeah, the NFL draft was live. Everybody was like, man, I didn't know Detroit was this nice.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I seen, man, just the people just smiling. It's shit changing, man.
Right.
For
yeah.
real. You know, Mike Epps got a club down here. You seen it?
Yeah.
Man, my first time seeing it the other day, I was like, wow.
For real?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, Detroit, I mean, we've always had, I mean, just like anything else, has always had its good and bad. So
yeah,
I mean, it's some cities, like I've been in parts of San Diego, man, like just look bad. You know what I'm saying? So like when people be down in Detroit, I'm like, y'all gotta look in your own backyard. I done seen some stuff.
Wow.
Where it be like, man,
that's
who running
why
this?
my wife want to go to San Diego. That's
For real?
crazy. We've been on the West Coast for a minute, so she was like, let's try. She don't want to hit L.A. I said, fuck it, we go to.
Man.
It's changing out there, man.
Yeah,
you seen the shooter out there walking down the street shooting? Yes. Wow.
It was one of them cities. I can't remember if it's California or something. I seen it online. Guy was just walking down the street stabbing people or something.
Wow.
Yeah, the world crazy, but Detroit, we cool though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
The world's crazy, and I'm eating mom's spaghetti and chilling. Hey, so I was seeing online about Bun B had like an intruder or something.
Yeah, I saw
coming
that too.
In his house.
Yeah.
So what was the situation? Because somebody was like saying like, is he a snitch if he tell or something like that? I know something happened before though with him and his wife.
Well, she traumatized from the situation. That's
okay.
So he was just saying how it's still affecting their relationship. So he was breaking it down in court. The guy supposed to got 5 or 6 years or something like that. But the fans was like, Pimp C wouldn't have did this and all this weirdo stuff.
Man. Yeah.
But I think Bun was shot the dude too or something.
Yeah.
But he just traumatized, man. I don't think that should be in the way of his career. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What? So I guess my question is, I think the streets need a definition and a clear line of what snitching is. Always, my understanding and growing up in the hood was snitching was if me and you did something together, right, and you got caught, or I got caught and you got away, and to lighten my sentence, I told on you, right? Mm-hmm. Or I was involved in something, either way, I told on somebody else to either make myself look better or get off, or I felt like if I got caught, you should get caught too.
Yeah, weird.
I always considered that as snitching.
Yeah.
But the civilian or the person that's just living a life, or even somebody just in a situation like this, I mean, I don't necessarily consider him in the streets like that, doing that type of activity.
Right.
So if somebody breaking your house is calling the police considered snitching. You sitting back in the suburbs somewhere, somebody breaking your crib, and you protect yourself. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's the influence he have in the world. The music they create and things, or what you you attract that type of demographic of people. But I don't know. It's all weird.
I'm letting y'all know now. I pay my taxes. I'm calling the police.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to be a couple guns, mine's or the cops. So,
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what they there for, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean.
That's shit. They did Jim Jones the same way. It was like, he beat the people on the steps. It's like, it's all on video. But,
right.
You
you got to tell they started it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he gonna get in a lot worse trouble than they would.
Right.
If they started it, he handled, he stood his ground, handled himself.
Right.
So I just think we take it too far, and that's why a lot of stuff don't get solved. And like, you see innocent people getting hurt, you know what I'm saying, killed. I could see if you, it's certain circumstances where you shouldn't tell. I agree with that.
Right.
Right, especially if you're involved in it.
Right.
But, I mean, just the average person living day to day that's not in that lifestyle, you can't force them to play by those rules, by the street rules. If something happened to them, they should be able to call the police.
Right.
And if they were once in that lifestyle, and I mean, I don't know what the intruder's intention was or how it came about, but I just think if I'm at home, regardless of what's going on or in my past, if I'm at home at this age in my life, somebody break in, I had a right to call the police.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, whether I call them or not, that's different,
Right.
but I should have a right like every other taxpaying citizen and civilian. So,
especially your wife involved, it's like, what can you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
you know who the first snitches was?
the
safety guards in school.
Oh, with the orange
the
belts.
little orange belts. There was like snitching starter kits. Because I'm like, dude, you gonna really tell them crossing the street on the wrong light? Like, yeah, them was the first official snitches.
Damn.
They couldn't wait to tell. That's
Right.
how they got the job, because
Yeah.
they was telling on
That's
everybody, and they
crazy.
was like, you can be a safety guard.
Right. They was in training.
Yeah, at Liberty
Right.
or Cortland.
What you think about I seen it's dope to see the legends go back to school and get their degrees and stuff like that. I see Fat Joe, man. It seemed like they came out of left field, but it's dope how they can do all that performing and on TV and get their doctorate and all. That's dope. You seen that the other day?
Yeah. I think it's necessary. Like, I mean, it depends on what you're doing with your life. Some people want to accomplish stuff just to say they accomplished it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, whether you're entertainment or you got to be an entrepreneur early on and you didn't go the traditional route, sometimes you feel like you missed out. And if you had the resources and the means to go back and achieve something, I think you should.
Right.
So I see people getting into stuff in their 40s and 50s that you never thought they would have gotten to it, and all of a sudden they become successful at it.
Right.
Probably not as successful as people that, started from the jump, but I mean, yeah, to go get any degree, if it's going to benefit you in somehow, or not even that, if you just want to do it for your own self fulfillment, and you got the resources to do it. Now, if it was somebody just, working a 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck, and they went back and got a degree just to have it and not do nothing with it, then it's be like, what did you do it for?
Right.
But if you got the resources to pay for it, I think that's dope, man. Just add something else to your legacy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Then it show the kids that you can do it.
Yeah.
Too, at any age.
Yeah. Proof mom, when she graduated college, she passed like right after that. But it was dope to see that that was her bucket list to get through it. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta get our brain refreshed sometimes. You know. Yeah, but I heard too. Speaking of, I know we passed up talking about Bun B. My boy told me like Bodie got some songs with Bodie James got some songs with Bun B. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, y'all stay tuned for
I mean,
that.
it's coming out on a project, or they just kind of like.
I'm hearing they really working.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they doing like really working
Yeah,
together on some stuff.
yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear that because Bodie kind of got that laid back. Yeah, I could hear that. And
Mm-hmm.
Bun B, that Texas draw, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Bodie James chopped and screwed.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be dope. But yeah, I can definitely hear that.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite verses for Bodie, it was on. I think it was Big Sean had a project out. It was called Fat Raps. It had Bodie, Cool. I think the Cool Kids
Chuck
was on there.
English, yeah.
Asher Roth was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
song was dope.
Yeah, you took it back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and my daughter used to listen to that song all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because the beat was knocking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, shout out to the Cool Kids, Asher Roth. They came down here and did Dilla Day with us.
okay,
Yeah, it was pretty dope, man.
that's dope.
Um,
So LL got a new album coming out.
yeah, he said in a couple of shit, he got the single coming out in a minute, and
Okay.
it'll probably be out by now. And he says the album supposed to come out in a sec, man. It's good to see the legends back, doing their
Yeah.
thing,
It's funny, like I heard I was talking to this young guy, he like 26 or something, and we was talking about J. Cole or something, and the conversation was like, some artists just they not feeling it like they was, or because we was talking about the J. Cole backing out of the beef or whatever, and he was like, some artists just not hungry like they was, and he made the comment, he was like, he not even that old, he only like 30, right?
J. Cole.
Yeah, but this was the guy's comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know J. Cole age right off the top of my head, but I told him it was like shocking to hear him say that because, and we said it on the show a number of times, like there was a point in hip hop when 30 was old as hell. Like most people stopped rapping at 30.
Right.
So to hear the new generation say he's not even that old, he's around 30, it's like, wow, things change because now for them seeing an old rapper means really like an old rapper. Whereas before, once rapper got like close to 30, we was like, oh, they outdated or they old. So to hear LL coming back, that's dope.
Yeah, I think too is sometimes artists can wash themselves up.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't stay active and move around and reinvent themselves. It's dope to see even LL will rock the bells, the radio station and stuff. He able to kind of rejuvenate them people again. So they getting played on the radio. They doing the cruises and stuff like that to put their name back on the scene. And all they have to do is keep being in the public or branding themselves. But that's what it's about. I mean, it's fucked up to how they just put a cap on. It's like you're supposed to retire at 30.
Right.
Just like sports or something. Then what they say, the football players, a lot of the athletes kind of broke after 5 years after they retire.
Yeah.
But you got to protect all that, because they put a cap on us to say you're going to retire, you supposed to retire,
Right.
But
I think that the benefit of being a celebrity, because I was talking to somebody about this, the benefit of being a musician, artist, singer, rapper, or even an actor compared to being an athlete. When you're an athlete, your fame could die down, and it's only true fans can watch your previous games, right? But for example, even if LL never recorded another album, some 12-year-old kid gonna be sitting somewhere watching videos, and they gonna show some old school videos. You gonna constantly see LL, even long after he stopped performing, right? So I think artists need to really understand that they could, I don't know how much of a living they can make off of that, but they still need to be able to figure out ways to monetize that fame and keep bringing it back to light.
Right.
Like, it's a cartoon called Coco. You ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
So the theory is, I can't remember what Mexican or what belief it was, but anyway, it's like when somebody passed on, like their spirit would fade out if people don't remember them or talk about them enough. But the more people talk about them, the more they stay a while in the afterlife or in heaven or whatever, right? But you would see like these people, and all of a sudden they start fading out and they disappear. So it's like, damn, thinking about it that way, if you creating something, you can constantly like just keep reinventing yourself where the old stuff is still, you know what I'm saying? It's still relevant to a certain extent. Athletes don't have that privilege unless you like a superstar athlete. Like you still see Magic, Jordan, and all of that, but the average athlete don't. Like,
well, if they average, I mean,
yeah, but
yeah.
think about this. When we talked about Rock the Bells, like he had like personalities like Positive K and Roxanne Shante hosting, right?
Right.
Some kid is hearing that and being like, "Oh, it's Positive K," and seeing a video on YouTube or something like that. The average linebacker for like the Packers from 10, 12 years ago ain't no 12-year-old kid unless they really into it like that.
Of course. If they're not really, it's not like football players got a gym shoe or something like that.
Right. Right.
The basketball players like AI got those gym shoes, and
Right.
he been gone out the league for a minute, but plus they hitting, their faces hitting in the helmet.
Yeah.
It's a different branding.
Yeah. So the point I was making with that is artists need to appreciate that fact and keep being in the public eye as much as possible.
Right.
So whatever your music is or your legacy doesn't die down, because you see some artists, they go and like disappear because they not hot at the moment. I get it if you don't want to be in the spotlight no more, but I think you got to appreciate the fact that you can still have and still be relevant and still monetize that years to come, long after you stop recording and even after you stop performing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the advantage that artists, actors, and people have that I don't think the average athlete has that opportunity.
Yeah. It's just branding. It's like Shaq, for instance.
Right.
He don't sit still. He just he got podcasts on Reebok and things like that. It's when you got a name for yourself, it's just not taking it for granted. You know, it's just
Shaq could show up at Icy Hot. He be hanging with the General, save some time.
Totally.
Yeah, so he be everywhere.
He said what Ray J said. He invested in his career. You know what I'm saying?
Real?
So
I didn't know that.
He said he spent $1 million or something in Ray J's career, but to see, those guys with that much power to go into different avenues, knowing, they may be banged up or bruised up, and they put their money in different things they're interested in. You know what I'm saying? It's dope because, even I worked with Barry Sanders' son.
Right.
We went in the studio and he did beats and he wanted me to scratch on things, but Barry, he believed in them. Don't know anything about music. Pay for Bodie verses and things like that. So it's just dope to see them just do that. Just when Chris Webber was doing that, and, making beats with Nas and going off and we don't see a Chris Webber gym shoe nowadays, but he gonna brand himself in other avenues.
I think he had a book coming out or is out or something.
I'm hearing that
I gotta
too. Yeah,
check back up on that.
Yeah.
So you was at the concert. We talked about that a little bit. Was Eminem performed, Diana Ross, Trick,
Melissa Etheridge, Theo Parrish,
right? How was it seeing Diana Ross?
That's dope.
Did she sing you? I Want Muscle. She ain't seen that.
Nah,
Oh
nah.
man.
When we was pulling up, we heard her off the street.
Oh okay.
So we just seen people running to the gate, and
She just did a bunch of Supreme songs.
no, her songs, a lot of
okay.
yeah, it was like a the way they did it was like a mixtape almost.
Okay.
You know, they had Jalen Rose come out and introduce people, and
Yeah.
Judge Mathis. They had Lonnie Love, the comedian down there. They, it was just a Detroit pride thing. It was dope to see Trick on stage performing.
Trick was with Diana Ross.
Nah.
Oh okay.
But she still look young too, man.
Okay.
It's dope to see her come back because they try to say Diana denounced Detroit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's dope to see her come back like that. It was dope.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if she like rolled down her old street or something like that.
Man, eat some chili fries or
Yeah.
something. Go to Diedrich Furs or something,
Yeah. Diana Ross reincarnated as Cash Doll.
Right.
The new queen of Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else we got? Speaking of Detroit, Eddie Murphy joined Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wearing that.
He just can't have Gail Hill in there.
Nah. So,
yeah.
See, he got the FM98 T-shirts on in the movie and stuff.
Not the Mumford no more?
Yeah, I'm here. We got that stuff on still.
Okay.
But it's dope to see how he branding our.
I was so jealous of Mumford, man, when that movie came out.
Wow.
I was like, damn, why ain't we're Highland Park? He don't know where we at.
I seen a Mumford. They got like a pop up at CVS on Livernois. They got all the Mumford clothes and stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I gotta get some of that stuff, man.
Mumford, a legendary ass school, low key though, cause man, we didn't interview people, artists from here that went there, but you think about the gospel artists, the hip hop artists, like Mumford probably hold it down. If you're talking about music all around, Mumford is probably it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember Oprah Winfrey came there back in the day. Yeah, came up there.
To Mumford?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mumford, that deal when it comes to that on. Yep. What else we got? DLC documentary.
Yeah, I'm hearing they put a pause on it. I'm just looking for him, to get his shine on.
Yeah.
DLC, a legend. I have met him in Flint. That was MC Breed boy, you know what I'm saying? But he got like I think Exhibit, Dre and M and all those guys on it. I'm just looking forward to see him talk about his legend. Because a lot of people that interviewed him talk about how smart he is, and just to see how he maintained after his career was kind of crushed along with his his voice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the people talk about the deaths we had in hip hop. I think that's probably one of the biggest tragedies as far as potential of an artist. Because you hear everybody say if that wouldn't have happened, he would have been like the next Rakim. He would have been a West Coast answer to Rakim.
Mm-hmm. And
that album was so that was a classic album. That was like the first Dre was Dre before then, but the music on that and the Niggas for Life just showed like where Dre was going. Like you seen all the potential of Dre on the production on that and that Niggas for Life album. But DOC skill set and the way he approached music and the way he played with words and his rhyme schemes and all that, it was just something different. And then the image he had, it was gangster, but it was just straight up no chaser. And it was just like, wow. And he was a little bit more silent than most artists, and we didn't get to hear enough from him from the personality side. Like we just got the music. And and then it was just like he faded away. I mean, still in the industry, still active, but he faded away to like the general public. And a lot of fans just didn't know what happened. Then all of a sudden you see him turn back up with Dre during those chronic years and stuff like that. And, you know, you seen the NWA movie and you seen how, you know, what role he played based on the movie. But you know it was more to it, so I would be excited to see a full documentary on even how he handled that as a person. Like, you're at the top of the world, you are iconic in the industry, and all of a sudden that's cut short, right? How do you handle that mentally? You know what I'm saying? How is it like going through that financially? What are you doing to survive? At that point, because that was a Ruthless album, and as you know, Ruthless was not the same. And then, you know, you with Dre, but then it's like Dre's doing things, and I heard he was writing some music and stuff like that, which was good. So he was still able to express himself, but it's I wonder how that impacts you when you got all the skill set, you just can't actively perform it that way. So yeah, I would be definitely interested in seeing that.
See him write for Eazy-E and all that stuff. That's dope, man. DLC, no one can do it better. It's a super classic album. You know, y'all make sure y'all check that out. You know?
Redman kind of did a remake. It's the Diggy Doc, y'all. Puffin' and Fresh, y'all. Redman had a lot of West Coast influence on his albums, especially like the Muddy Waters, and I think it was Red the album, or Red Gone Wild, one of them. But he had a lot of West Coast influence.
Yeah, New York had to get that funk, you know.
Yeah.
It's like well, Biggie whole album started off with the Death Row catalog.
Right.
You know?
Man, I remember Mark Hicks gave me that it was a promo. It wasn't a mixtape. It was actually recorded. Biggie had all them Death Row beats on it.
Yeah.
So it was two promos. It was the Big Mac with Craig Mack and Biggie on one side, but Biggie did. That was the first time I heard On the Road to Riches and Diamond Rings. Yeah. And they later used that on the Biggie Duets album or whatever. But that verse was over. I think it was Gin and Juice beat. He did it over. But that was dope. And that's when they was kind of Death Row and Bad Boy were kind of like running together a little bit. Yeah. That's cool.
I met at that time, well, right after that, I met Puffy, and he gave me a copy of All About the Benjamins.
Yeah.
It was a brand new.
Oh, that's when you put it on a rap game? That mixtape, yeah.
It had You'll See on there. He had Mace with him, and he hopped out the car and just came straight to me first. I was like, here's the tape for you, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a picture from that day. But when I heard All About the Benjamins, I didn't understand that. I kind of knew it was like gonna be big, but the beat was just so everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, those was good times, man.
You heard Jada say he ain't like that song at first?
Yeah.
They didn't want to be on it? He was just going to write a verse for Puff? Yeah, that's crazy. And that's like one of their biggest hits.
records.
Yeah. So what's what you call it, Proof Son? So it's some artists here, man, that I've been listening to. Proof Son, I don't know how much, you know, I know people know him, but like, what is his approach? Is he, you know, some people they don't want to say they're such and such son, right, or my daddy is, because they want to kind of make their own path. Well, in this situation, it's different because you kind of want to honor that legacy,
right?
No, but at the same time, you want your skills to speak for themselves,
right? And
he has the skills. So what is it? what are you seeing from knowing him and knowing his dad? Um, and where do you think the potential? Where do you think he can go as far as music? Like as far as do you see him more possibly going mainstream, or do you think he's going to be more one of the artists that's big, but big in the sense of having a cult following, based on the way music, the industry is now?
Well, I think he need to just like the DeBarge family and all that stuff. You gotta
Right,
just embrace what he come from, cause
right.
even Proof Legacy is like kind of
With his dad, right?
yeah, just the whole the whole thing is like you gotta keep the legacy going, and I think when you go when you try to hide that greatness, and
Right,
just the results is just change. You got to tap into your dad's demographics, and everything kind of
right.
was around that. I would like to see, because he's a film director.
Okay,
He makes he one of his best videos he got on one of the podcast shows, and said it was $1,000, but the video looked like he
wow.
spent tens and twenties, and what I'm
Right,
saying, it looked like some Pulp Fiction type of stuff. But if um he can do like a biopic of himself, and incorporate his dad legacy with his, and just
right.
let people see that side,
Okay,
because Proof kind of go unnoticed a lot. You
right,
know what I'm saying? So it's still kind of incomplete. So you wanna keep it going. Proof only did one worldwide album. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But for himself. But the rest would I miss the hip hop shop, and
And the promatic work they
yeah, all
did,
that
yeah.
stuff that it all equal up to a lot of records. But it's just he would die so young, so
Right,
you gotta tap in to the nostalgic part of it all. People to embrace that whole, just like buying the first pair of Jordans, the second,
yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. It's
So
just
you saying he should, it's like what I'm seeing is like, okay, I'm building my own, but I should embrace my dad's legacy and my family's legacy
right.
as well. Yeah, because some some kids some kids will grow up with a sense of entitlement too. Like I'm such and such son, I
Hmm.
should be able. I'm from what I'm seeing, and I don't know. He's not moving that way. He's going out actually earning
Right.
his at the same time.
Same way with Jadakiss son. I think he's super dope. Jadakiss
Right,
son, J1. He's starting to get guest appearances on other people's albums and things
okay,
like that. So it's just tapping into different demographics. I think there's a lot of that legacy just need to do that. I can see him, working with some overseas producers, and
right.
his music so abstract. He can go anywhere with it.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever see like a do you ever think we'll see a son outshine their father or mother in that case, or daughter outshining mother, as far as not outshining but their legacy being as big or bigger? So like um so we talked about Jadakiss son or even Big Pun's son, right?
Hmm.
Um um Old Dirty Bastard son, young he calls himself Young Dirty Bastard or whatever. And they're all making music, but they haven't had the impact that their parents had. And do you think the industry is like, oh, you just such and such son?
No,
So
I mean Benzino daughter. I know
no,
Benzino.
she's yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
she's an outlier,
yeah.
yeah, for real. But her dad wasn't that great at rapping
It's
though.
hilarious.
I mean, he was. So I
But
want to be clear.
but he did a lot of
Benzino's,
work.
yeah, his contribution to the culture is like right. I would definitely top 10, right, with the
Right.
source and everything. But as an artist, nah. So she's easily bypassed them when it comes to that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She's on the radio all the time. with commercial success and everything. So she's one, but we know a lot of artists that got kids that rap, and we haven't seen those kids get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, so Benzino daughter, but he never achieved that type of stardom as a rapper,
Mm-hmm.
right? So do you think the general public, the fans are like, nah, you gotta come better, or is it just that they don't want to receive them, or is the music just not that good?
I mean, Diggy Simmons had a run for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey.
And JoJo, right?
Nah.
And they wasn't run, dog.
I mean,
They not surpassing
I
run.
don't know. I mean, it's just work ethic, man.
Yeah.
That's just it. I mean, even with Ice Cube's son, he looked just like him.
Right.
He acting. If he rapped, okay, it'd be something different. But
Right.
he done been in some big films. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he looked just like him.
Yeah. Movie wise, but
Yeah.
as an artist,
It's something different when it comes to hip hop.
yeah, it's like we don't want to let the, like Romeo was just considered part of the entourage of the No Limit entourage, but it's like we don't see too many kids get to the stardom in hip hop as their parents did. Like in the movies, I mean
Romeo.
Denzel's son is
Yeah,
good. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hip hop is different.
Yeah.
Romeo sold a lot of records though, man.
Yeah, but he ain't outshine Master P, though. You know what I'm saying?
Outshine is a hell of a word, man.
I mean,
That's a hell
yeah,
of
to build a brand and a fan base and have the sales and success at or above your parent that was in it, that was a star. I think that's just hard to do.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I saw the other day is Jam Master Jay he didn't leave turntables in the house.
For real, he didn't want his kids scratching.
No, he didn't bring home the job, you know.
Right.
But they eventually found
it
him.
up.
You know what I'm saying? But they traveling all over the world DJing.
Right.
One of his sons, I think he spent it for one of them guys, ASAP or something like that.
Okay.
But they take it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
dope. Yep. So what's so of course the big news was for the past several months has been Drake, Kendrick, Diddy. Diddy. That's interesting, man. Like to see this stuff come out, but at the same time, it's some stuff that gotta be. You gotta question some of that stuff too.
Right.
And I'm kind of like when I see certain stuff happen to us in the media versus what's actually going on from a legal standpoint, it's like it's the media making this worse than what it is. And not saying just in Diddy case or saying, somebody's defending that, but even like I seen Sean Kingston where I guess he paid somebody a down payment for like a large TV screen. It was supposed to be like $150,000-$200,000 like entertainment system, large movie screen or something, and he paid I guess like $20,000 or $30,000 down. They installed it, but he never paid them the rest of the money, right? And then when you was looking on the news, they showed like damn near like a SWAT team coming to the house. They arrested like his mom and all this. Like this was like a criminal enterprise. And I'm like, damn. So later on, they was telling the story. They were saying like his mom was in some fraudulent stuff or something like that. And they were kind of known for like scamming people and not paying them. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about that on a deeper sense. Like, okay, we've all known people that probably paid a deposit and didn't pay the rest of the money, but you ain't had like SWAT and, you know what I'm saying, agents showing up at your door with the full police force to arrest you. It was just like, that was more like a civil trial, you know what I'm saying, like a civil case. Like, I'm just going to sue you, take you to court and get my money, probably garnish your wages or whatever. But it just seemed like when it come to us, everything is to the extreme, and we're made the villain before there's any proof, because the way they're treating him is like, damn, shouldn't he be arrested by now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, what other parts of the story are we not hearing? I mean, we seen the video and like, damn, dog, like that was out cold, right? But I mean, you raid this house, but he's walking around Miami. Like it, something just to me don't add up. And I'm not a legal professional. I just know usually when I see somebody house get raided or something like that, somebody going to jail like immediately, right? And when I seen that thing with Sean Kingston, I'm like, damn, over a TV. Now, mind you, it was $100 and something $1,000, but you know, I know people that don't pay their car note. They come get the car. They ain't sending out like SWAT teams and all that.
I think it's like $1 million now or something like that. He's up in there now is in total or something.
Well, that's combined with other stuff, but they were coming specifically because of this the company that installed it went after him because their attorney was there the day, and I'm like, wait a minute. Usually when something like that happens, they're just coming. They're not calling. Like if you sued me and I didn't pay you some money, and for whatever reason, if the police was involved, the police just coming, they not gonna call you and your attorney and say we about to go, right?
No, I think it's too. You gotta it's always a smear campaign. Gotta be.
That's what I'm saying, right? And it's like.
That's just what all of this.
Don't smear me before I have my day in court. And it's like the media just like, damn, and it seemed like it's an attack. So it's like Diddy, then it's like, now you look on YouTube, everybody throwing Jay-Z name in it. Like, well, Jay-Z was around. Then somebody tried to throw Janet Jackson. I'm like, where the hell Janet Jackson? And it's like the internet, and on top of that, the media, it's like, oh, we can't just take Diddy down. We got to take anybody that was associated with him down. And it's like, but it's like people just reaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm trying to see where the other stuff is coming from. Like, y'all got stuff on this guy, but then it's like, y'all reaching to just pull somebody else down with them. It's
the
just
collective
crazy.
Punishment of it all.
Exactly.
I think, I mean, just think if the internet was out when Elvis Presley was alive,
right?
You know, it's like, what?
But
would they do something about it? Or, you know,
right?
It's just,
no, they would have gave Elvis a pass. It's just different with us, man. It's almost
gonna
like
always be that way.
Like you Negroes can't be rich. You can't.
I
do
just
what
seen
we do.
somebody a black man created Buffalo Wild Wings.
For real?
And he hung around somebody and that he thought was, you
right.
know, with them, you know what I'm saying? Probably didn't trademark or nothing,
right.
you know, anything. And he thinking it's an investor, you know, that
right.
type of thing, and took it and branded all around the world. But that's just so common. But just think if you know, the black man want to do a get back, he gonna do what he gonna do. You know, it's just then the paper gangster stuff come in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So that you just gotta be careful. You just gotta. I mean, it just seemed like when you at that level, you just gotta be as clean as possible.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Had good character, but I mean, that ain't my problem. That's a higher level. See, but I'm just thinking like, what's his name on WWE? Was it? I keep wanting to say Jim McMahon, Vince McMahon. Right. All the dirt and smut he got on him, man, and it's like we ain't seen nobody raid his crib. You know what I'm saying? All the allegations and all of that, and it's like.
I mean, but too, a lot of them, you know, we a little more, you know, when you got an investor and you known for showing off and you not with this investor anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
They gonna
come back and create problems for you, right? And that's what it sounds like.
That's just what it is.
I think we just too hard on our celebrities, like we said earlier. If like with the Bun B thing, there's an intruder in your house and you go to court or whatever, or you call the police, you just a snitch. So we make the victim, you know what I'm saying, the enemy now. We make the victim feel bad for doing what any normal civilian would do,
Right.
or anybody with good common sense would do.
Right.
Because I pay taxes, I should be able to call the police.
Yeah.
If somebody breaking in my crib,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what they gonna see when they get there, but you know what I'm saying. It's just one of those things. So, yeah, man.
Wow. Shout out to Bun B once again. You did the right thing, man. For
yep.
real.
All right, y'all. So that's a wrap. Funky Fresh in the Flesh. Check us out on all platforms. Anywhere you can find podcasts.
Subscribe now.
Subscribe,
we got
share.
the book on the way coming soon.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
See a lot of information, interviews.
Yeah.
What was the good photos, the more photos,
throwback issues, and you know,
unseen photos.
Right.
So that was dope.
Oh.
Yeah, Diddy in a couple of photos. Don't get arrested.
Yeah, classic interviews, the whole nine. We was in, we was globetrotters back then.
In the mix.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Funky Fresh in the Flesh. We back to attack.
And we out.
New year 2024. We got more in store, y'all.